Dara, how are the people of Ireland reacting? It seems pretty aggressive. 6 weeks is a long period of time.
Yeah, look, I think like most places now, there's probably two camps here. There is one camp that looks at the economic cost of this. We're looking at unemployment going above 20% again, about 150,000 jobs lost because of the measures introduced, and people are wondering, is the economic cost just too high to pay? But there is a second group of people, obviously, that think that, yeah, look, cases are rising, hospitalizations are beginning to increase. So what we need to do is get numbers down by December the 1st, and then we can, in the words of the Taoiseach, our Prime Minister, try and save Christmas. So I think what we're seeing here is, unlike lockdown 1 back in March, April, when there was kind of unity, everybody agreed it's the right thing to do. I think we've seen sort of two camps right now. There's the pro-lockdown and sort of the people, I wouldn't say lockdown skeptic, but are worried that the costs might be higher than the benefits.
Yeah, good morning to you, Dara. Give us a sense of how restrictive the measures are. I think I read that they are for at least 6 weeks, so could go further. How do they compare to March, to April, to springtime, when we previously saw lockdown measures introduced?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you just put this in a European context. Ireland is the first country in Europe to go back into a national lockdown. So, I mean, that's kind of the standout headline here. But, yeah, it is marginally less restrictive than it was back in the spring. So, for example, construction closed down completely in the spring, and now that has been allowed restart. I suppose one of the key things, especially for us parents, is that schools have remained open, unlike what happened in the spring. That is a huge issue for so many parents, for kids, for everybody. So in a way, what the government is doing is putting this issue about schools staying open at the top of the agenda. They're saying, look, we're prepared to sacrifice a lot if we can keep the schools open. So everybody's delighted to hear the schools will remain open. Now, we have heard the teachers union say, hold on, and we're not sure if the rest of the economy is going to close down, and if everybody else is staying at home, should teachers really be in school? So that's really will be the next shoe to drop. Now, I think if the schools do close down because the teachers strike, that's going to be a massive political problem for the government. I think many of us are prepared to live with the economic sort of consequence for 6 weeks, as long as we can kind of keep the schools open. So I think that's a massive thing to watch, if the schools can stay open.
I can't understand what the point is of keeping everyone confined in their homes if they're allowed to send little virus spreaders to communities and then welcome them back. I mean, what's the point, really, of having a bubble if you send a vehicle to a school to get the virus and bring it back to you? That doesn't really make much sense at all, does it, Dara?
Hey, that's harsh. That's my kids you're talking about. Look, the statistics show, according to the government, that actually transmissions in schools are far below what they are in the wider community. So they made kind of a sort of contrarian argument in a way yesterday. They say that, look, it's proven that kids are actually safer in schools at the moment. It does seem like a sort of a bizarre kind of anomaly, but that's what they're saying. The kids are actually safer in schools than they would be in the wider community, because if they're all at home, I mean, it's very hard, if you have kids, it's very difficult to tell your children they can't leave the house, they can't see their friends, especially now we're in lockdown too. So the argument that they're making is that it's safer for kids to be in school, and that whether or not the teachers' unions buy that is another issue altogether, and we'll probably get some information on that in the next kind of couple of weeks.